Chapter 7 RSVP. By the time I got on the bus the next morning, my luck had changed. I was closer than ever to doing something really impressive and getting myself invited to the right party. World Records by Alvin Ho. Number 1, most apples split in a minute in midair with a samurai sword. Number 2, most baseballs pitched into a can in a minute. Number 3, most holes dug in a minute with a stick. Number 5, most balls juggled in a minute in midair while standing on a chair. Number 5, longest hoop shot in the history of the world. Wow, said Flea, who was sitting next to me. I didn't know you could juggle. I kept my eyes on my page. I didn't know I could juggle either, but it had taken me all night to come up with the list, and I wasn't about to start erasing just because I couldn't do something. Are you really going to do all that? Asked Flea. I nodded. They look really hard, said Flea. I nodded again. Do you want some help? Asked Flea. Help? From a girl? I wanted to say no way, but instead my head dropped forward unexpectedly and then rolled like a wheel on a roller skate. I was really sleepy. Great, said Flea. I'll come over after school to help you. Flea's my desk buddy, and she's always trying to help me. It's so annoying. But going to school without any sleep is the only good reason the buddy system exists. This is how to use a buddy on a bad day. Put her in front of you during dodgeball. Keep her in front of you during dodgeball. Hold her in front of you during dodgeball. Piggyback on her going downstairs. Stick like a static cling sock on her going through doors to avoid going through a closed one. Normally, Flea likes being my buddy. In fact, she volunteered for the job, but today she squirmed quite a lot and got away from me a few times. In fact, she was acting like a sea captain scraping a barnacle off the side of her boat. I couldn't figure it out. It was a strange way for a buddy to act. Miss P, I heard Flea say, Alvin's acting very strange today. Alvin, said Miss P, are you okay? I avoided eye contact, which was easy to do because I could hardly keep my eyes open anyway. I kept my hands in plain sight. You look a little pale, Miss P said. Do you need to go to the nurse? I kept my head down. I swung my feet. It was a sign to show that I was okay. Miss P is very smart. She doesn't need to hear my voice to know what I'm saying. Slowly, Miss P turned around and went back to teaching. How do we learn about people living long ago? She asked. Google them, said Ophelia. Watch TV, said Eli. Visit their homes, said Sarah Jane. Get the tour. We can also look at old photographs. They tell us a lot, said Miss P. She dimmed the lights. She flipped a switch, and an old photo flashed on the screen. It was brown and faded in places like an old sneaker. Creepy girls in creepy dresses sat staring at us from a table. I yawned. My eyelids hung low. What does this picture tell us? Asked Miss P. Girls wore pretty dresses in the old days, said Flea. They look like they're about to have a party, said Sarah Jane. With cupcakes and lemonade, said Esha. I yawned again. My head felt like a bowling ball about to roll away. The title of this photo is A Girl's Party, said Miss P. My eyes popped out like peas. That's a girl's party? Yikes! Everyone looked completely bored to death. No one was even smiling. Psst, said Flea into my ear. Did you get my invitation? I froze. You're supposed to RSVP, said Flea. RSVP? What's that? I wanted to ask, but I couldn't. 1,000 splinters filled my mouth. Suddenly I remembered what RSVP meant. Bucky had told me it was French for resume standing very promptly. You have to do it if you want to go to the party. I didn't really want to go to a creepy girl's party, especially after seeing that photo. But I sure did want to get that deluxe Indian chief outfit with all the works, and I would be invisible at the party anyway, thanks to a miracle in a jar. So I stood up, but it didn't feel like I was standing at all. I wobbled this way, then I wobbled that way, then I felt my feet leaving the floor, my body starting to float up, up, up. Alvin, I heard Miss P say, are you okay? A giggle went through the room. Psst, hissed Flea. Sit down. My butt lowered itself into my seat like lava in a lava lamp. My head turned slowly from left to right like a summer fan set on low. I could feel Miss P's eyes on me. She's very nice, but she has a habit of keeping her eye on you when you don't want her to. Fortunately, Miss P did not ask me again if I needed to see the nurse. Instead, she switched off the overhead projector, switched on the lights, and switched the subject. Diaries, said Miss P, are another way to learn how people lived. My eyelids drooped heavily. I leaned one way in my seat, then I leaned the other way. It felt like I was on a swing. Henry kept a diary, I heard someone say. That's right, said Miss P. Henry Thoreau used to carry a notebook and a notched stick with him on his daily walks. Henry wrote about the animals and plants and other things he saw, said another voice. Then Miss P began to read from Henry's journal. I once set fire to the woods, read Miss P. I knew that story. Henry and a friend had wanted to catch fish and cook it Indian like in the woods, but they ended up burning down the entire forest. At the shoemaker's near the river, we obtained a match, Miss P continued. The earth was uncommonly dry, and our fire suddenly caught the dry grass. Zzz. I floated up, 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 out the window, over the school, through the woods, until I saw young Henry cooking his catch Indian like on the shores of Fairhaven Pond. Hey, Henry, I called out. I'm going to play Indian too, as soon as I get my deluxe Indian chief outfit. Zzz, complete with a huge feather headdress as a reward for going shopping and buying something for a girl, and then going to the girls' scary party where there better be cupcakes. Zzz. What did you say? Said a voice. Then I felt a hard shove. I opened my eyes. It was Flea. She takes aggression for girls after school and was looking at me aggressively through her one good eye. She was not happy, and everyone else was very still, even Miss P. Had I said something? I didn't think so. I can't talk in school. I can't even grunt or squeak. Had I fallen asleep? Uh-oh, did I mention that sleep talking runs in my family? What secret could have possibly slipped out? I had a bad, sinking feeling. It was something I should be taking to my grave.